Turning now to this week's 48 Hours investigation into how a phone app helped crack a murder case. In 2024, 19-year-old Sade Robinson went on a first date in Milwaukee. The next day, her car was discovered burned behind an abandoned building, and Sade was missing. The key to solving the case? Her phone and some chilling surveillance footage. Anne-Marie Green gives us an early look at her report.
On April 1st, 2024, Sade Robinson, a 19-year-old college student from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, went on a first date, but she never returned home. The next morning, the charred remains of her car were found behind an abandoned building. Lead Detective Joe Donner of the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office.
This is Sade's vehicle.
This is pretty much completely destroyed.
It is.
Suspecting something terrible had happened to Sade, Detective Donner and her team took note of the position of the driver's seat.
I then went to a dealership and found an identical model.
With the driver's seat in the same position as the one in Sade's vehicle, Donner grabbed a deputy who was about Sade's height.
And when she sat in the car, she couldn't touch the pedals.
There was no way Sade was the last person in that driver's seat.
No.
Donner says the last person to drive Sade's car had to be at least 6 feet tall. Sade's date that night was 6'1", 33-year-old Maxwell Anderson. On Sade's phone, investigators found a clue that could tell them everywhere Sade went the night she disappeared, the Life 360 app.
Unlike Find My iPhone, that gives you where your phone is right now, Life 360 gives you historical data.
As investigators traced Sade's movements from her app, they obtained security camera footage of Sade with Anderson on their date. Anderson would later say that when he and Sade parted ways, she was fine. But hours later, according to her Life 360 app, Sade's phone arrived at an area along Lake Michigan. Investigators went there and uncovered this grainy footage of a figure seemingly dragging something to the lake.
Who do you believe that figure is?
Maxwell Anderson.
Anne-Marie Green joins us now. Anne-Marie, I mean, that Life 360 app, how critical was that in this case?
Very. I don't know if you're familiar with this app. This is not like Find My Phone, right? This uses GPS to track your movements and additional data like the speed. They were able to zero in on exactly where she was throughout this date. And because of that, they could very quickly get surveillance video and other evidence that might have been lost if they had been trying to figure this out for weeks.
So Sade's last known location was along Lake Michigan at Warnemont Park. How unusual was it for her to be there at night?
Very. Right, very. This is one of those sort of large city parks. It's not just the park. A lot of people go to the parks. They don't go there at night. But this particular location was very secluded. It's about, 10 miles from her house, but it's a place that her family said she didn't go to very often.
Such an interesting case. We can't wait to see your full story. Anne-Marie, thank you for being here. And you can see her report, Sade Robinson, The Secret Beach, on 48 Hours tomorrow night at 10, 9 Central here on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.